My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. I want to share something very, very important with my audience, people who enjoy my work, and people around the world. I am so proud of Tim Black, but I'm even more, I'm so amazed of his work, but there's nobody on the planet at this moment I'm more in awe of than CARLY Hammond. And her life and her work and everything that she's accomplished thus far and everything she's doing in Flint and everything she will do. She's only, I think, 22 years old or 21 years old, will overshadow this story. CARLY Hammond is a brilliant journalist, activist, and her life will be a lot bigger than this moment in time. But I just want to share everybody how proud I am of both Tim and CARLY that Julian Assange, the great Julian Assange, a person that I know will be remembered forever because of his journalism, because of WikiLeaks being a publisher that will be remembered forever. Its impact on truth. We can go on forever regarding WikiLeaks and why we need WikiLeaks and Julian Assange, and I often say that. But Julian Assange just retweeted the interview with Tim Black and CARLY Hammond. I find that very, 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 very important. Not only noteworthy, but it's just something that, for me, is extremely relevant because you have one of the great voices of truth in Julian Assange retweeting an over 2-hour testimony of the experiences that Ms. Hammond experienced. Detailed interview with the accuser, the Young Turks journalist Jordan Chariton, who was fired on Monday. And then he actually put also Jordan's first Medium article, which I've also discussed in length. And I want to just also take this opportunity to address, and this is a profanity alert. Well, I don't want to use profanity in this video, so I won't sully this video that I think is hopefully detailing what I consider to be a beautiful moment. So I won't sully it with profanity. But for anyone who would ever dare say, "Oh, well, look at Julian Assange and how could he be retweeting?" Julian Assange has never been charged with any crime. Julian Assange is owed compensation by the UK and Sweden. The United Nations has stated that Julian Assange is arbitrarily detained. He, in every court or in every legal setting, has been victorious regarding any issue leveled against him regarding Sweden's initial case that they didn't charge Assange with anything, and that case is now no longer in existence because Sweden had no case to begin with. They dropped that case, and the context is that he is, like any truth teller, a marked man globally, which at the end of the day, I believe he will be successful and free. So he has never. I've always tried to address the fact that there are men who have been and who are wrongfully accused of the crime that Mr. Chariton is accused of. I have also made it very clear that I do not know. I have my opinions. I do not know if Mr. Chariton is innocent or guilty. What I do know is that based on circumstances and evidence, and the fact that every single time it goes to either a legal setting or the United Nations or an independent third party that looks at what's going on with Julian Assange, he's exonerated. And he's actually owed compensation. He's actually owed his freedom, according to the UN. Mr. Chariton wrote a preemptive Medium post. So that is all you need to say about that, in my view. But that's for the naysayers or for the skeptics or for the people. This issue, on a side note, my 2 cents regarding another version of skepticism. There's the issue of devil's advocate. I've been debating several Truth Against the Machine people, numerous, on Twitter, and I always see this kind of pseudo-intellectual vantage point where it's the devil's advocate. Well, you can't prove anything. You can't prove anything. But yeah, but I don't think anyone, or I am not saying that Jordan Chariton is 100% guilty. Like I've heard people say he's 100% innocent. I am saying that from my vantage point, you look at things and you form a conclusion that might not be categorical, but it's leaning a certain way based on Mr. Chariton's behavior. At the end of the day, though, everything is about Miss Hammond, her experiences, the fact that Tim Black was able to give her a platform. This segment is about a true hero, I think a global hero in Julian Assange, and somebody that I view that will be remembered forever. It's nice to be remembered by your... the whole point of life, in my view, is to be remembered by your family and friends. If you... memories are the currency of life, I say. So that's what I think. To be remembered by your family and friends. To have good memories with your family and friends. And if you make an impact in the world, great. But not everyone is going to be remembered forever in terms of global world history. Mr. Assange will be remembered forever in terms of world history. He will. And it will be in a very favorable light. It definitely will. That's obvious. WikiLeaks also will be remembered forever. There aren't many publications where the most powerful people on the planet dislike the publication because the publication publishes their own the words of these powerful elites. I don't know when that's ever happened, ever. But that's just one reason why a truth teller like Julian Assange and WikiLeaks will be remembered forever in history in a favorable light. World history. But I just find it, for me, I find it fascinating, a source of pride, and something I think is newsworthy, noteworthy, something that if you're left or right, or if you say to me, "Oh, AJ, I'm tired of you talking about this topic," I don't understand that. Why would you? Then don't click on the segment. What did you like? You saw the segment's title. What's the big deal? What's the problem here? I get that sometimes, and then anyway, I just think that it just says a great deal. Not about Mr. Chariton's innocence or guilt. Not about Jordan Chariton's innocence or guilt. If you're watching this channel, I know that a lot of people think he's completely innocent, and that's fine. What I'm saying is that the great Julian Assange, a person who will be remembered forever in a favorable light in world history, as will the people of WikiLeaks, has just retweeted a brilliant journalistic endeavor by my great friend Tim Black. I'm so proud of him. And a really beautiful soul in CARLY Hammond, who has already empowered men and women throughout the planet with her experiences. And Miss Hammond will have a long and amazing career in changing the world and making the world a better place, and she's already doing that right now. And that will, of course, be the biggest, aspect and that will be actually the entire story when it's all said and done. Give me your thoughts below. I just find it fascinating and amazing and a source of pride, and I just think it's fantastic. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thank you so much for listening.